What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Exciting news. We finally have this thing in the garage. So I brought my Jeep over from California to Vegas now. And honestly, it drove pretty great the whole way here. So nothing to complain about. I am on disconnected sway bars, so like turning was kind of, you know how it is. I do also have a check engine light that we need to fix today because I do have to get this thing smogged. So it is what it is. Luckily, we just picked this thing up. So this is a launch code reader that you can pick up off of Amazon. So this is a launch CRP129X. I also had a Harbor Freight scanner, which was like $130 or something like that. Launch reached out to me and they did send this over. So today we're gonna try it out. We're gonna test it on the Jeep. I had already turned it on and went through the settings. You do have to connect this to Wi-Fi so you can update the files. But in the box, this is what you get. You get a nice carrying case. You get the scanner itself, which is like hard rubber, I guess. I don't know, this thing will definitely take a beating if you drop it. Let's just say you had your scanner on the toolbox and for some reason this thing just... and it still turns on. I mean, that's solid, I think. So with this one, you can actually do the TPMS settings. So that's why I got it. My gold Jeep has some issues. So we're gonna try that out today as well. But first things first, let's go connect it on this Jeep and see why I have a check engine light. So we're gonna get in this Jeep. It's super hot in here. And down here is where you connect it. So we'll go ahead and connect it there. Ooh, this thing's speaking to me. So it did not read the VIN, so we're gonna input it manually. And this scanner is definitely running on Android, as you guys can tell. It kind of looks like Android. It is touchscreen and it also has the buttons. So it is going through the system now and I already found 2 faults. I have 5 faults for the ABS, so we definitely got to check that. So this is dope diagnostics report. I put in my information as like shop info, so it shows up on there as well. So you can use this to diagnose people's cars. Then you could give them a legit report by pressing share. So here we can see ABS. Let's see what's going on with the ABS. Left wheel speed signal failure. So we're just gonna ignore those for now. The main ones I want to see are the PCM. So here we have PO155 and PO551. So the first one is, you see that 2 and the 1, that is bank 2 sensor 1, which is cylinders 4, 5, and 6. The O2 sensor is failing. And if you look at the bottom one, it says the same thing, bank 2 sensor 1. If you go to data, you can actually save the diagnostics reports. So I could go back and check out the report again. When I did get this, I did go to upgrade and I updated everything that was available. And with this IM setting, it tells you if the car is ready to have the smog check done. Right now, it's not because I do have the 2 fault codes. So actually, before I left to Florida, I had replaced the O2 sensor on this Jeep because I did have the same code, but I did replace it with a Bosch sensor. And after doing some research, Jeeps don't like Bosch sensors. So we're gonna go ahead and replace it with something else. And also, if you're in a pinch and you don't have a scanner, what you can do is put the keys in, put it on the on position and off 3 times. And then look at your mileage and it tells you the codes that you're gonna have. And then you can do some research on those codes. That's just like a backup in case you don't have a scanner. And also, guys, right now, if you go on the website najaroffroad.com, pick up some LED bulbs, some tire deflators, or some soft shackles, you'll get entered into our giveaway of the month, which is the Molly panels for the rear of your Jeep. It'll go on this side and that side. So if you guys want to get entered for the Molly panels, make sure to check out najaroffroad.com. It ends at the end of the month, so don't miss out. Anyways, let's get back into the video. So bank 2 sensor 1, it's gonna be like back over here. I think it's that sensor there. So I ended up picking up this NTK. Here's the part number 23138. This is for bank 2 sensor 1. This runs about $70. You get it for $35 on Amazon, so I'll have that link down below. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the old one that is Bosch and replace it with this one. Hopefully that will solve our issue. And I'm just gonna use a crescent wrench because that's what I got. So I'm gonna get down underneath the Jeep and go ahead and take it off. You can see a lot of dripping from some sort of oil. Anyways, I'm underneath the driver's side and we are gonna go for the one that's closest to the firewall. It's gonna be that sensor right there. And I mean, you could see the difference between the left and the right. Like, they look way different. The left is the Bosch and the right is the other one. And I did notice that when I was putting it in, but I sent it. and this sensor was $30. I cheaped out. I should have just gone with the NTK for the beginning, but I didn't, and you guys get to learn from my mistakes. So it's probably gonna be hard to see because of the location of everything, but I'm gonna unplug it from the top and then we could unscrew it from the bottom. Now we're gonna use my favorite tool. Since I had already taken it off less than a year ago, it already loosened up. Sometimes these are fun to get off. And yes, this cat is hot because I just started it when I moved it over here. Okay, now we got it out. I mean, just by visually looking at them, this is the NTK, this is the Bosch. You see how different they are? Like, this one looks more like OEM than this one, so hopefully this does the trick. And look at the tip of them. They're way different as well. Nice, we got the new one installed. Let's go up to the top and then connect it. So the connector for this is actually back there. You can kind of see it. You can see it right there. That's where you connect the O2 sensor. Okay, so I got it connected now. Let's go ahead and start it up and then we can clear the code. All right, so back to these fault codes. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go to clear fault code. Yes, and then I'm gonna have to drive it afterwards. Bam, clear fault code completed, okay. And we currently do not have a check engine light. So I just gotta drive it and make sure that it stays clear. If not, then we have something else that's wrong. So I'm going through all the live data, which I think is really cool that you can see, like, make sure every sensor is working. The O2 sensors are definitely getting power, they're definitely reading. But look at this is interesting. Engine coolant temperature, 211. And over here, it shows under 210. So the Jeep actually runs a little bit hotter than what it says on the dash, but I just thought that was interesting to see. And I've never really had a scanner like this that can do all these functions, so I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I'm learning as I'm going. But this Jeep, whenever I turn it on, up here it gives me the TPMS. It's not reading. I'm gonna go to reset. We're gonna go to TPMS. So my TPMS reset did not work on the Gold Jeep. Check this out. I had codes on this that I didn't even know of. PCM, we had a NOx sensor fault. TCM, we had 4 different codes. ABS. And like I said, I did have the Harbor Freight one. The Harbor Freight one was a smaller one. Did not give me all this information like this thing does. So I'm actually kind of glad that I got this because I wouldn't have known about these issues. So now we can go ahead and see what's going on with the Jeep, you know? So I definitely like how much more information this gives than a standard, like the Harbor Freight scanner that I had before. This actually gives me more details. I didn't even know that the other Jeep had all those codes, and I don't think I would have known unless I scanned it with one of these that has a more in-depth diagnosis. So I talked about all the good, but I didn't talk about the bad. So let's talk about the bad of this scanner. For me, the only issue that I really had was the TPMS not working. For some reason, it just didn't reset. It wouldn't connect with the Jeep, but maybe on other cars it would. So I don't have anything to test that with, unfortunately. But on the Jeep, I was not able to reset the TPMS stuff. So it still gave me the code readings and all that for the Jeep. So I guess it still works, but not for the TPMS, which I was hoping for. Like I said, that's just on my Jeep, so it might work for other cars. I don't know. I was able to do everything else for my green Jeep, which was to read the codes and reset it and make sure that I'm smog ready, which I'm still driving the car around, and hopefully it is smog ready. Would I recommend this? I think yes. For the price, I think I paid $140 for a standard OBD2 reader from Harbor Freight. This is probably $100 more. So would I recommend it for $100 more? I think yes. The main reason I got the other one was for the IM, which this also has. I honestly need to learn the scanner more. I feel like if I learn what all those things mean, this will be more beneficial to me. So as of now, for what it has, it is a good working scanner. Like I said, it helped me read codes on the Gold Jeep that I didn't even know it had because it didn't even have a check engine light. But I mean, you can also test the Jeep by turning the key 3 times and it'll give you engine codes. It won't give you transmission codes, but it'll give you engine codes in case you're in a pinch and you need to know what's going on with your Jeep. You can also do that. So anyways, if this video helped you out, please leave a like down below, share it with a friend. Hopefully this O2 sensor is finally good with the NTK instead of the Bosch. And yeah, I just got to drive it around and then see what happens, and hopefully we can smog it. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.